Hey and welcome back, Sandor here, DM4DS, again with an ham radio related video, again about the Quansheng UV-K5. If you have not seen my first video, please stop here first, look the other one and then come back, because this is, let me call it, part 2. In the other video we have seen the non-harmonics with some inspections, but I also told you that I think that there are different firmwares out there and they are causing the big differences in how the spectrum is looking, and some are really looking horrible. Mine was not that bad, but you will see in a moment that I can top that. What I have done, I programmed mine with an hacked firmware which started down in the 10 meter band up to, it says, 1.3 gigahertz. We will look into that. And before this video is again 15 minutes long, let us jump right into the screenshots. A lot of informations again. And yeah, let me show you the first screenshot. And yes, this is no screenshot from multi transmissions or so. No, this is transmitting with the K5 on 28 megahertz FM. And you see this is a harmonic orchestra, let me call it. Yeah, I have selected 28 to 500, but the much more important thing is what you see is that these are all harmonics. Yes, there is a transmission in the 10 meter band. It is really low. All was on high settings, so this is a really, is it a weak signal? It's not a strong signal, but what we see is that these are all harmonics. 28 doubled, then doubled, then doubled, and also the other frequencies. And what we see is that we have here a harmonic near the 2 meter band, and that is really, really strong. Also in the 114 range, look at that, that is 1 watt. That is not a weak signal. Also here 85. This is really serious. So yeah, I cannot recommend to do that. This chart shows from 0 Hertz up to 400 megahertz. Why? I could open that up to multiple gigahertz, but there were no harmonics, so I reduced it to 400 megahertz. So this is really a nightmare, and I also will post that on GitHub, etc. Let us switch to the next one. There I selected 50.5 megahertz, and you see it's the same thing. All the harmonics, first, second, third harmonics, so it's all over. It is really not to recommend transmitting on these frequencies without filtering the other frequencies, and really serious signal strength. You know, on that bands with a good antenna, you can hear that kilometers over kilometers. So the next one, it looks a little bit better, but it isn't. This is a transmission on 100 megahertz, and you see the first harmonic on 200 is not much weaker. This is still a really, really strong signal. Go to the next one. I transmitted in the air band. I think this is the air band. I'm no pilot, so forgive me if this is not the air band, but I think this is inside of the air band. There is AM receiving, And with this firmware, I come later into that, you can also transmit in AM, and I will show you, is it AM or is it transmitting in FM, and just telling us it's AM. So you see here again the harmonic. Next one is, sorry, I have to go back here. This was the transmission in AM, and this was the transmission in FM. You see no difference here, but these are harmonics, not modulation analysis. I have to say that. So the next one was in the 2 meter band. You have seen that maybe in the first video. Yes, we have there one harmonic. It's the first, doubled the frequency down by about 50 dB. So that's not the worst I have seen from such cheap radios. So the same in 200 megahertz, and you see there are little harmonics here, but not strong enough to catch it here in my 70 dB range. The same on 300 megahertz, and that is the same picture we have seen in the first video. We have one harmonic, doubled the frequency at a serious strength. Then I raised the frequency even higher to 400 megahertz, that a little bit above our 70 centimeter band. There we have again harmonics, and what is interesting for me, the harmonics going up to 1.6 gigahertz. Yes, the level is low, but with small amplifiers you can amplify that to a serious signal. Also in the 23 centimeter band we have a harmonic we can amplify. So 500 megahertz, we have the third harmonic. I'm not sure which country has a band there, but we have a signal, so you should filter that. And then I tried to raise the frequency to its maximum. The firmware tells us to 1.3 gigahertz was the maximum we have seen. We have in the chart before. Let me jump back. We see that we have harmonics up to 1.6. But if we type the frequency directly into the radio at 600 megahertz, we still have around 20 dBm. So where is the limit? 625, still a signal. 629, still a signal. Is that a harmonic? Not really, I think. It's whatever side effect happens here. And then I can say that to you. You see, I have no next. That was the highest frequency I was able to type into the radio and get a transmission. So 629, maybe .999 is the limit. You can type in the radio and do a transmission. As I said in the beginning, with this hacked firmware, and I have to say that this was done here on the table into the analyzer. There was no public transmission at all. So please stay inside of the regulations of your country. Really, we get in trouble if we don't do that, especially in the air band. What is with the FM/AM selection this firmware allows? And there, again, let me show you frequency analyzing screenshots from the analyzer. as you can see here, you know that picture from the first video, I transmitted in the airband 123 megahertz, 123,500, and then I did, attention your ears, and recorded that in wide settings. You see that again, the same numbers, almost the same numbers as in the first video. This was FM inside of the airband. And what is if we select AM? As we can see, AM was selected. I did the same. Sorry for your ears. And what you can see is that we have not really AM. So yeah, the display is showing that to us, but we are doing frequency modulation. Is that good or bad? My opinion is that this is a good one. Why? It makes no sense to transmit in the airband in frequency modulation, so I hope everybody stays away from the airband. We really get in trouble if something happens with a plane while you transmit it in the airband and blocked an emergency call or whatever. So that was the video for now. Please write it down in the comments what you want to see about the radio. Is there another hack? Is there other info you need? Please write it down in the comments. See you in the next one. Sandor here, DM40S, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.